We started by bootstrapping. So we were part of a company builder, but we bootstrapped for quite a while. The area wasn't so well developed when we started. So I think people were just not super familiar with what we were doing. And it took a while to get that kind of, shall we say, market interest from the kind of funding world. After an initial period, we then went and kind of raised around. One thing I noticed, so we obviously we're talking to investors throughout and trying to kind of understand what they want from us and so forth. But one thing I noticed, when we were in the right place to raise money, it was a much easier experience. And I think now for the next round as well, we know where we need to be to raise the money. I mean, it's not like a random process. I think that's what it might seem like this from the outside, but I think it's not. Is the business healthy? Is the market big enough? There's fundamental questions, but there's nothing random about it. And it's obvious when you're in the place, and it's equally obvious when you're not.
And how did you make the decision to say, okay, we bootstrapped this so far, but now it's time to raise a round?
We didn't necessarily have a strategy to go one way or another. So we were open to raising from the beginning. It had a lot to do with the market itself. And I think initially, especially the niche we were focused on, algorithmic bias, it just didn't really have the traction in the UK to pull the kind of fundraising we were trying to do. So we just had to wait a little bit, and then the market kind of opened up, and it was much easier and more natural timing, shall we say.
And what do you think some of the keys to success in securing those investors have been? What are the things that you've learned that have helped you been successful?
When we started up from it, we were in a great position. So we knew we were gonna complete it because it was a great position to be in. But even so, we really had to go to our net. We had to go to people we met randomly. I mean, it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, this is not for someone who has a lot of, my skin is not too thick, but it kind of had to thicken in the process. I think as the rounds grow, as you go through the process, there's a lot more of an element of, some VCs look at certain markets and they reach out, and it's a different maybe setup. But I think initially you do have to just be quite shameless. Investors are a market as well, just like users are a market, right? So if for users, there is going to be a market that really works well with your product and what you believe, and you haven't quite fun, but you're trying, let's say. And for investors, it's the same process. There will be people that will instantly resonate with it, and you'll be like, I never would have guessed. And there will be people that on paper looks like they should resonate, and it just doesn't work. It really is about just trying. You don't know kind of what you don't know. You don't know who the people that will really kind of believe in you are.